this week has a little bit of everything. I've got winter, I've got summer, I've got spring. I'm covering palm trees, I'm uncovering palm trees, I'm playing with baby pomegranates, and I know this is gonna shock all of you. I'm actually gonna do something normal and start tomato plants. So please watch, it's got it all this week. Hi everyone, it's Tim. I am in one of my many bamboo groves on my property. I'm going to pull this in. It's really pretty bamboo, and if any of you watch my channel, you know I love bamboo. You know it's invasive, you know it's bad, but I do love it. It's really windy out here today, so I'm going to try to knock some of this out of the way here so it's not in my face. But I do love it, and you just need to keep it into control. And I could talk a lot about that, and maybe one day I will talk even more about that as it tries to attack me here. It has been crazy weather here in New York. It is like beautifully summer one day and cold the next, and we have had just torrential rains, and we're getting more rains. And even though it's nice out right now, other than the wind, which I'm sure you're hearing, and sorry about that, it is going down to 27 Fahrenheit tonight. So I've got some covering to do. Luckily, most of my palms, other than the Trachycarpus, I have just opened up the front of. I do have my Canary Island date out completely. I do have my Dactylifera, Phoenix Dactylifera, out completely. I need to cover those, and I have my non-hardy pomegranate that is leafing out, and I'm going to cover that before tonight. I'm hoping it doesn't get as cold as they say, but it might, so I'm just going to be careful. Last night it was supposed to drop to freezing, and it got nowhere near freezing, so I was really thankful about that. I've moved everything back inside, and today I'm just going to cover some stuff up. But also today I'm going to do some seed starting. I'm going to talk a little bit more about my Gunneras. I'm going to show you a few perennials in the garden that are coming up, all kinds of things. So it's just a typical Tim video where we're going to just jump around the garden and look at stuff today, despite the weather. And then after tonight and tomorrow, I might actually be frost-free for the rest of the year. Let's fingers crossed on that. I want to really open up the palms and get things moving along here, because I am tired of winter. I'm tired of not living outside, which I do all summer, and it's time to really open up those palms. So this hopefully is the last video where I'm talking about winter. Hopefully the next week I'm going to be like, look, all the palm trees are out. That's my goal, and I will be very, very happy about that. Such a beautiful day. Just wish it wasn't going to be so cold. So Chilean wine palm, it really doesn't need to be covered up for tonight. So I'm going to leave this side open. Got some baby Trachycarpus in here just because it's a good place for them to hang out. A lot of baby Trachycarpus over here, which was my winter storage for a lot of these. More baby Trachycarpus. And even more by the waterfall over here. There's already some fish in the pond. They're hiding right now. And that's my newly planted date palm right there, where the Canary Island date used to be. Water lilies are starting to grow. Some perennials on the side over here. The water iris are coming up. And the cattails are coming up as well. Not as exciting, but the hostas are starting to grow, so that'll make this area look better. The Agapanthus, this is the hardy variety. I have the non-hardy variety inside, but they're starting to come up. Here I have some Musa Basjoo I'm going to show you underneath the tarp. We've got growth. Sorry about all that noise, but yeah, they're growing. They're starting to come up in here. I'm just gonna leave them covered up a couple more days and then open them up. My wonderful variety pomegranate is leafing out here, and I'm definitely gonna cover it tonight so that I don't lose the leaves here. I'm really happy I got this through the winter. Very happy about that. It does have a thermocube and lights to come on tonight. Hopefully it'll be fine. Here's my hardy oranges, and I'm going to show you they're starting to bud. I can focus in on that. I love the thorns on these. Hopefully tonight will not be an issue with that one, but I'm looking at this one branch right there. It's just, these thorns are like medieval. I love them. They're so great. I don't think my Chinese fan palm will have a problem tonight. I have some frost cloth and I may just cover it up to be safe if I have time. That's the thing. If you've got the time, why chance it? You know, just like these Musa Basjoo, I'm glad they're still covered up. I really want to get them uncovered here, but I'm going to obviously wait. That's the thing. You have to be patient as a gardener in the spring, especially if you're a tropical gardener, because you've done all this work in the fall to get these plants through the winter. You don't want to sabotage yourself in the spring with doing something stupid, and that's what I'm fighting, because I want so bad to uncover all this stuff. It's just, I'm so sick of seeing all these coverings out here. To show you my Trachycarpus that I know is a female up here. When I uncovered it a couple weeks ago, I showed you that basically all I was seeing was this, and I actually thought it was a little damage from winter, but the seed pods are clearly coming along here just fine. And the only problem is that none of my males, which are down by the pool, are doing anything yet. So, and this happened before. I even see seed pod up in here coming out. I'm gonna have to go out to some people and see if I can get some male pollen for this, because nobody's doing it at the same time here. I am not a big fan of Forsythia, but it is really beautiful when it blooms in the spring. And here in the US, gardeners love this stuff, but it was on the property when I moved here. It's hard to pull out, and I'll just put up with it for now because it is pretty. Mulch Delivery. Not a whole lot this year, but I do need to surround some plants. And because I don't really need a truckload this year, it's just easier to have it in the bags, and I can carry it down to the pool, which is where I really need it the most. And that's easier than having a bunch of stuff just dumped in the driveway. So I'm going with this. Plus it was on sale, and that's always a good thing for gardeners. And here you can just see all my daffodils coming down my driveway. I think they look good this year. I should plant more. It's just that always does a lot of work. Gunnera is still alive, sitting in the window. And a couple of the koi have come out to see what I'm doing. Most of them are still inside. I haven't taken them all out. I kind of want to get through this cold period, and then I'll introduce the rest. And I have a fire going, of course, because it's cold, but here I have all my supplies for my Gunnera to put in a bigger pot. So my expensive plant is getting more expensive, but at least I'm warm inside, even though it's starting to get really cold out. It is pouring outside. It is cold outside. I am not happy at all, but that gives me a chance to plant my Gunnera. So I've had it about a week. I'm gonna post the recipe that the company that I bought it from told me to do. I've got it all right here, ready to go. It seems really like a dry mix, which is odd. It's very little compost. There's no soil really. It's peat moss, but mostly perlite. Well, I'll put it up here anyway. It just seems very dry. So I'm taking my lovely little plant here, which I hate that I get attached to plants because I do. And this one I'm especially attached to already, which is a problem because I have killed them so many times in the past. Looks like it's got really good roots here. I'm gonna walk up over here and show you. Nice roots there. It's in pretty good shape, so I'm gonna get it down in here. Need to go a little bit deeper than that. We had some odd mix, I think, of stuff, but I'm going to show you in just a second once I get it in. And I think it's going to be pretty nice. So I'm babying this plant like you're supposed to. We will see what happens here, but it still makes me nervous. Very, very nervous. And here it is in there. So we will see what happens. I'm showing more daffodils. You saw them before, but I'm showing them again because I think they're pretty. A lot of them are early and mid-blooming daffodils. And I have a clump of hellebores. I would like to have more. They're just really expensive in the US, but I might get some free ones from a friend very soon. Excited about that. I am doing seed starting today, and I thought I would show you this. In the US, we waste so much plastic, and I thought I would show you, like, rather than just throwing this away, this is a container that chicken came in. I use this for seed starting. I use the salad containers as well for seed starting. They make nice little greenhouses. They work really, really well. And then at least you're reusing it for something other than just throwing away plastic, which I hate. I have my seed starting mix here. I'm in the kitchen because it is so yucky outside. It is raining. Normally I would do this on the deck, but I am going to do all this in the kitchen. And then I have in here, I swear by this because I often have to do these someplace other than outside where I should be. And this contains all the dirt and everything as I'm putting the seeds together. So I highly recommend one of these fun things to use in your seed starting world. My method is really simple. I take the seed starting mix, and I know I could mix my own, but I'm a little busy right now, and I put it all in a bowl, and I use filtered water. And I have a filtration system, so I'm not using tap water because I have well water at my house, and it has probably some iron and all kinds of stuff in it that I don't really need. But the filtered water, I think, is better. And I basically add water and let this soil absorb the water because it's really dry. And then once I squeeze it out so it's almost like a sponge. It's like a damp sponge. Then I will layer it in here and add my seeds. As I'm doing this, I'm having flashbacks to doing this in a New York City apartment and growing tomatoes in the apartment, only to take them then to my house outside of the city. And what a pain that was. And I am so thankful to be living in one place and not in two places. But basically, yeah, I'm just trying to get this all nice and absorbed in here so that it gets ready. I know this is New York Tropical Garden, but I do grow some vegetables and things like that. And I do tend to save all my seeds so that I can spend all my money on the expensive tropicals and not vegetables. So I have seeds from last year, and I want to show you when I have tomato seeds, because I make a lot of sauce. That's my main thing. I love sauce. I basically just take some of the sauce. I'm going to put this up to the camera. It's kind of gross, and just put the seeds on a paper towel. And it's really easy. And then that way I'm not trying to dry them out. And all I'm going to do is cut out sections of the paper towel, stick them on the dirt, and then cover them up a little bit and put on a heating pad. Really easy method. So before I used to take these and dry them and clean them, and I'm sure some people, if you have a high humidity, there could be mold or something like that, but I just have mine stuffed in an envelope and it works every year. And that way I don't have to buy new tomato seeds at all, which is always a good thing. And I am just cutting out what I want here. And I'm just going to layer this on the top. It's really hard to do this with one hand while I'm filming. But I'm going to cut out sections like this. Here you can see I am just putting down the seeds on the paper towel. I kind of push them in a little bit. It starts absorbing the moisture. The paper towel will basically disintegrate. Really easy method, and I'm just going to keep doing this till I fill it up. Obviously more than enough tomatoes. I always have way too many. I'm giving tomato plants away to everyone, which is a nice thing. I've got them all on the soil here, and I'm just going to lightly put some more on top and put this lid on, and then put on some warmth. I like these heat mats. They work well. They really help with the germination. So I've got that there. And hopefully I will have some growth in a week. I know this is major overkill for tonight, but frost cloth wrapped around it, C9 Christmas lights, and a tarp. And this is my date palm, the non-hardy pomegranate. Wrapped up, same thing, frost cloth, C9 Christmas lights, tarp. I'll probably keep this on tonight, and tomorrow night it's going to freezing, 32 Fahrenheit, 0 Celsius. That's tomorrow. Tonight, much colder, 27 degrees Fahrenheit, about -3 Celsius. Canary Island date palm, same method, hoping it'll be fine, even though it just got transplanted. Chinese fan palm, I'm just putting this frost cloth over it. It's got C9 Christmas lights. I'm not gonna put this structure back over one of my Mediterranean fan palms. This is a smaller one. I'm actually just going to put this trash can over it for tonight and tomorrow night, just to let it get through the night. It's got C9 Christmas lights. Again, it would probably be fine. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of extra protection. I am pretty happy this morning because last night was supposed to be our big freeze. It was supposed to go down to 27 degrees Fahrenheit, or about -3 Celsius. And it just barely got to -1 Celsius. And that was at 7 o'clock this morning. Sorry about the parrots in the other room. So everything should be fine. I'm gonna go out and uncover things I covered yesterday. I'm not quite ready to uncover the palms because we still have just slightly below freezing tonight, and I just don't want to chance it. And my lovely parrot is in the background. But even better than that, I had some hardy pomegranate seeds last year that I tried to germinate, did not work at all. This year, I tried putting them in the refrigerator all winter long. I pulled them out a couple of weeks ago. I pulled out my hardy Flying Dragon oranges as well, and I just looked and they've all sprouted. So that's the first time I've ever gotten the hardy pomegranates to sprout. I've gotten the tropical ones, which I have a plant outside that I covered up last night, to sprout, but not the hardy ones. So this is exciting. I just have to be a little bit careful because, if you think about getting a parrot, really think about how loud they are. And they want your attention all the time. So this is the loud one. Yes, the very, very loud one. Show how loud you are. She is loud. A rescue parrot. So she's living her good life here. But yeah, you are loud. Loud. I know, loud. Very loud. Very tropical. Yeah. And here's my really sweet, sweet, sweet Hahns Macaw. Hi, birdie. Hi, birdie. Hi, birdie. She's really sweet. She's super sweet and super easy to take care of. They both want to be held all the time. And sometimes they're just happy to sit with you. And even though with the big Amazon, I would never recommend having them on your shoulder unless you've got your hand right there, because Amazons are nippy and you don't want them right near your face. This little guy is really sweet. She's sweet. I trust her completely. She is not a problem. My experiment was to do with the fruit on or off. So this one is without fruit. I actually took the time to take the seeds out of the fruit, and obviously it sprouted, so that's a good thing. So that experiment. But when I opened this one with the fruit on, it actually looks about the same, maybe even a little bit better. So clearly that was a waste of time. I have some that I did not put in the refrigerator that I need to put in soil and see if that's what I did the year before. It failed. This time these in the refrigerator did sprout, so I'm happy about that. And here are my hardy oranges. And this is one of the pomegranates right here, so I'm happy about that. So hardy pomegranates. I think it's the Russian variety. And I've got them all potted up. There's the oranges, there's the pomegranates. And in the background, I'm going to show you, I have one castor bean that came up. So that's good because they were 2 years old. And I have finally released the Chilean wine palm. I could have taken it out a while ago, but it was just easier just to keep it in check. But it is out for the season, and I think it looks great. Love this palm. My crazy week of weather is coming to an end with torrential rains tomorrow. Cannot wait. It just keeps raining here, and I know my friends in Europe, some of you are in a big drought right now with no rain, so I really can't complain. But next week, we are supposed to have some really nice summer weather. My goal for next week's video is lots of palm trees out. Back here you can see I've got a Washingtonia out right now, and that makes me so happy. I've got a lot more to uncover, so that will be in next week's video. And then a lot of you have asked, what is my workout routine? Which I find funny. And I do work out, but I thought I would show you this little clip here. This keeps me in shape, and that actually helps a lot right there. So anyway, please like and subscribe. That makes a big difference. The more you like, the more YouTube likes me, and then more gardeners actually find my channel, and then you guys get to interact with them and hear what questions they have. So it's all a good thing. So please like and subscribe, and have a good week. And hopefully the next video is a lot of palm trees outside from protection for the rest of the season.